There we go. How do I look? You've no idea how much all this lot weighs. Well, believe it or not, there is still one man in Britain who dresses up like this nearly every day before going off for a day's work, jousting, pillaging, and generally beating the insides out of the opposition with things like, would you believe this? That's Max Diamond. He's perhaps not surprisingly one of the few professional knights left in the business. I thought all that sort of thing stopped when St. George gave up being beastly to the dragons, but no, there are still a few people at it, and now Max will soon be publishing a book about it. Max runs the British Jousting Centre at Chilham Castle near Canterbury. Those lances are 12 feet long, so broken bones are quite common. In days of old, when jousting was one of the most popular ways a knight could pass a quiet afternoon, it was a sort of a medieval billiards with real people as the ball. But in the end, the casualties became so enormous that the king tried to ban it. Now, hundreds of years later, people are still doing it. Why, Max? What do you think the attraction is in dressing up like this and bashing the heck out of your opponent?
Well, not bashing the heck, really, until I think we're all balmy for a start. And I was lumbered into the game 14 years ago. But it's a very good sport. It's the oldest sport in Britain, in England, actually.
But you have to be tough, don't you? I mean, excuse me if I just put these down a moment. They weigh an absolute ton.
Yeah, that's 17 pounds in weight, and that's a broadsword. They were very strong those days, actually. And they were about 5'2", and they had a sword arm which was near enough twice as large as the left arm, the shield arm, because they had to wield these heavy weapons in those days, and they had to be stronger than the enemy. But each of the weapons can do you a nasty.
I'm not surprised. What's this that
This is a pole axe. That's a pole axe. Now, this used years ago. This was the point here was for putting down sick animals and horses with broken legs and that, and a more humane way now, naturally. And these axe blades were for cutting through the armour of an opponent. And this is very heavy. You hold it.
Can I feel the weight?
Yeah, please. Oh, careful.
I nearly dropped your toes off there. Good heavens.
Yeah, it's a nasty weapon, and this is a flail.
Yeah.
And this had more chains on,
use
actually.
that for?
This was for swinging round and gripping either the weapon or the neck of the opponent to pull them to you to put the dagger in or something.
Yeah.
And this here is the mace with the flanges, which are a nasty weapon. This can break right through the armour as well.
Yeah. Where would you aim this at?
Oh, well, that would be the head or any part of the body.
Because you apart from the weight of these, you're covered in all the armour as well to protect yourself, aren't you?
That's right.
Yes.
But all these are mentioned.
Yeah, so the horses really have to take an enormous amount of weight, because you've got your lance in one hand, haven't you?
That's right.
And all this stuff swinging about.
Yes, it's a long lance. It's 12 feet, you know. It's very heavy. And when you bring it over across the withers of the horse, the wind's blowing, and it forces. It's very difficult to control it on a windy day. And this can go in the centre of the knight and do him a nasty in the midriff. And I must say, you look much prettier without the helmet on, and I look younger and prettier with the helmet, because I'm the knight of the geriatric.
Oh, you're the evil knight, though, aren't you? The knight of the Black Gauntlet. You're the baddie we're supposed to boo and hiss.
Just a minute, I'm not. Because I'm the good baddie, because I'm the old man. I thought that was very good.
No, it's very. Just a minute. That's a plug for your book, isn't it? That's coming out, I think, in the 26th of September.
That's right. What a lovely guy on. Thank you very much.
Max, you're wonderful. But you must tell me, you don't actually try to kill people anymore, do you?
No,
and
it's
you
for
score
points. It is for points.
Yeah.
It's a sport. You get 4 points for striking a shield, 2 points for ringing a lance in a ring, ringing a lance. Lovely, isn't it? And 2 points for striking the quintain, and 2 points for picking up the heads, spearing the heads.
Yeah.
And the points are totalled up at the end of the joust, and the team with the most points are the victors, and the knight with the most points is the winner. And I've got to be the winner because I'm the governor.
So nobody dares let you lose. Here, can you just hold on?
Yes, certainly.
I'll take these off me a moment.
Shall I?
This really is the lethal one, isn't it? This
is nasty.
And that's just that's the one-handed. That's not the two-handed.
No, you've got to have a strong arm for this. It's 17 pounds in weight, and to fight with a broadsword, you've got to know what you're doing, because it can break a leg, break an arm, or break your neck.
And we have a piece of film now running, which apparently those are two of your students, are they not?
Oh yeah, some of the members, and this is the quintain, right in the quintain. Now you watch the ball comes round and hits you a nasty one on the back. See it hit him on the head there. And it spins round, and we're always running short of ball cups, you know. Now, here's the broadsword, and the broadsword is very nasty. If you haven't the sword in the right position to protect you, this can really break a bone and do you a nasty.
Quite evil, look at that.
Yeah.
And you've had a lot of injuries yourself, haven't you?
Oh, yes, I broke my back in 7 places, wrist in 3 and fractured my skull the last day in Cape Town when we were touring South Africa. And every one of the boys have broken a bone in their body, and I hurt my rib on Monday as well. The lance came back and the flange caught me right in the bone there, and I came off the horse.
Well,
I was in agony.
I'm going to ask you now to fight your opponent, who is Marquis of Normandy, a very noble soul. Don't break any bones, for goodness sake. And I'm going to steer well clear of this one.
Annie, bless your heart. Thanks for the plug. Right. Yes! Up! Up! Yes! Hey! Ha! No!
Makes a change for Max to be bashing someone else instead of me. In 15 years that I've known him, I've always been on the losing side, I'm afraid.